I wanted to go over some of the win conditions for Team Liquid and the win conditions for 100 Thieves in this semifinal matchup in the summer split. While I think this is the less interesting of the two semifinals, I still think there's a little bit of nuance that people might want to be broken down in order to understand how this matchup is going to play out or how things are going to run their course throughout this best of 5 series. I think with Team Liquid's game plan, they need to look at Ryu's champion pool, and specifically with Zoe and Rise. I think with Zoe, he's incredibly good at poking around Baron, poking around objectives, and making sure that he gets off that DPS. And Rise is also another pick in which 100 Thieves just function very good with. It seems to be that he's able to split push well and to coordinate with his team with the Rise ult. So I think 100 Thieves with their ban phase, or their pick phase rather, that they're looking to possibly get Rise as a priority. So maybe if you're Team Liquid, you want to ban Zoe and then first pick the Rise and just play into Ryu's Cassiopeia, because I don't think his Cassiopeia is that great. I've seen it a couple times throughout his career, but it hasn't been anything that's particularly shocked me. So they can always go into that matchup with getting the Rise and then also taking away, or banning away the Zoe so that he has to go on some other pick. And with Talia, I don't think he can function within 100 Thieves on Talia, even though that's kind of a back burner pick. It's more popular in Korea, but I just don't think that it's going to be played out, so they would probably go with the Cassiopeia instead. Another thing is Team Liquid should look to tilt Cody Sun. I don't know if you guys saw the game, 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest, but that was atrocious to see Cody Sun constantly feed in those tiebreakers and just completely get slaughtered against FlyQuest. At least I think it was tiebreakers. Might have been quarterfinals. But either way, he got completely decimated by Cody Sun. Yeah, it was the tiebreakers. So if you can entirely tilt Cody and then also separate him from his team, because it seems like he relies on the rest of his teams, specifically Afro, to kind of tell him what to do or to guide him. And if he's not constantly given that guidance, then he's going to break down, just like we saw with Wild Turtle getting like 3 solo kills on him. So I think if you're able to tilt Cody Sun, that can go into your favor, and then you just kind of play it off from there. And with Impact being so solid in the top lane, you don't really need to worry about him, which comes up to my other point of don't worry about Impact at all. He's proven time and time again that he is really solid on tanks, which tanks are now somewhat meta, so you can play a tank matchup into the top lane and he'll do completely fine, or even a tank versus carry matchup. He's still not going to care and he's still going to be able to perform well. And really just don't spend any resources towards the top lane, because you know that Impact's going to be able to hold his own. I mean, you look at that one FlyQuest game where they tried to dive him on GP and he completely slaughtered all of them, still lived, and Flame still died. So I think there are multiple different examples of Impact just outplaying people because they want to try and dive them. So don't worry about Impact at all if you're Team Liquid. Now, for the weaknesses of Team Liquid themselves and 100 Thieves game plan, that's kind of a little bit more tricky because now you have to change the fundamentals in which you play. Because when you look at these two teams, you think that they're very similar in a sense that they perform off of macro, although Team Liquid is more fast-paced with their style because they're willing to do more proactive plays in the beginning of the game, and when they do get a lead, they're able to close out very, very fast. So the important thing is to not let Team Liquid get a lead in the very beginning, so to stunt that. But it's also, I think you should be trying to play a little bit fast and loose. And this is the way, if you remember, that Team Liquid lost to Cloud9 when they subbed in Svenskeren and Golden Glue. They completely targeted the mid lane and over again, and then Svenskeren and Golden Glue just took over the entire game. So if 100 Thieves are somehow able to play fast, I think that could work in their favor extremely well. And also to maybe shut down the bot lane too is another good idea, right? I think getting priority bot lane is 100% what you should be doing if you're 100 Thieves, because it has been shown that Team Liquid function with double lift, right? That's how they function as a team. So you should try and limit their only win condition, really, that they've had for the entire season, and limit double lift himself by getting a priority bot lane draft and then go from there. But that's also points towards someday being a carry on 100 Thieves too. And the only thing that I would say as an exception to this is because he's playing into Impact, and he's probably not going to get a solo kill against Impact, but the GP pick is going to be super crucial because both players are quite good at GP, Impact more so, but I think GP is going to be one of those linchpin picks up in the top lane. So if you can get GP as 100 Thieves, I think that's something that you should really try and shoot for in this match. Put priority on GP, and then put priority for bot lane picks to have a better bot lane matchup, maybe a poke matchup, so that you can try and get first turret bot lane. And then absolutely, of course, is the golden rule against Team Liquid: just don't focus Impact. Even if you do get the GP pick, let it scale up, let it do its thing, but by no means don't really try and snowball someday ahead, because most likely it's going to backfire and you're gonna get destroyed. And when that happens too, when teams focus Impact, that means Team Liquid always do a play bot lane. Like 90% of the time they do a play bot lane when you're trying to dive top or when you're trying to do something top lane. Pillbelter will end up roaming bottom with Xmithy, and then they'll get a double kill under the tower, and they'll take your turret, and you might not even kill Impact. So there's that whole thing to worry about if you're 100 Thieves. So don't focus Impact, and that's the same game plan for Team Liquid as well, is don't put all your resources into Impact either, because he's still going to function. So I think 100 Thieves have a lot harder of a game plan because they have to change their playstyle so drastically that it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a difficult ask even for them to change up their playstyle, because they've been playing this way for so long, these long drawn out games, in order to go into the late game and then function with superior team fight and macro. But I don't think that you can do that against Team Liquid, because they are like the fucking daddy version of 100 Thieves anyways. So overall, those are my thoughts about this matchup. I predict a Team Liquid win, straight closeout 3-0, and I'm not really that excited for this game, but at least if the pick and ban phase goes a little bit wonky and 100 Thieves or Team Liquid start throwing out these weird bans or these weird picks, I think it could actually get interesting.